Hey there, Commanders Nation. If you live and breathe football, love watching Washington shine on the field, and are always looking for that hot insight before each game, you've come to the right place. Today, I'll share with you the boldest predictions for Week 12's showdown against the Dallas Cowboys. But first, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because you won't want to miss the upcoming analyses. I promise this will be a straight-up, honest, and passionate conversation. Let's be real, nobody, and I mean nobody, thought we'd be here, talking about such a competitive team in 2024. What can we say about these Commanders, who started the year with radical changes? New ownership group, new philosophy, and a heavyweight coach, Dan Quinn, who's shaping this team. And we can't forget about our rookie, Jaden Daniels. A name that's honestly being talked about everywhere. But hold on, folks, it's not all celebration. Since that rib injury against the Panthers in Week 7, Daniels hasn't been quite the same. He still delivers, but we know he's capable of much more. And that's where our first bold prediction comes in. Keep watching, because you're about to find out how this kid is going to silence any doubts against the Cowboys. It's inevitable. Jaden Daniels has been the most talked about name of the season. Favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year, he hasn't just led the Commanders to a surprising season, he's redefined what it means to be a rookie in the NFL. However, since that rib injury, he's been the target of criticism. Some say he's locked up. Is that really the case? As a fan, I believe the opposite. Daniels has something that goes way beyond statistics. He has the confidence of the team and the fans. Against the Cowboys' vulnerable defense, which, let's be honest, isn't scaring anyone, he has the chance to regain that overwhelming rhythm from the start of the season. And my prediction is clear. Daniels will throw for over 300 yards, with at least 2 touchdowns and a 75% completion rate. And that's not counting what he can do running the ball. Like that idea? Well, hold on, because there's more. Now, let's talk about the other side of the field. The Cowboys, our eternal division rivals, are living a nightmare in 2024. Internal problems, injuries, and a defense that's far from inspiring fear. This is the perfect moment for Washington to show who's boss. It's our chance to secure not just a win, but a real statement to the rest of the NFL. And here's another prediction. The Commanders' pass rush, led by our fierce defensive line, will dominate the game. I'm betting on at least 3 sacks and 2 interceptions. It'll be enough to take away any chance of a Cowboys comeback. But what does this mean for the playoffs? Stay with me, because we're going to connect the dots. If we win, and I believe we will, the Commanders will take an important leap in the division race. We're just a few games away from the top, and with the Cowboys falling, it's our best opportunity to solidify a playoff position. Plus, this win could be the push we need to give us confidence in a schedule that, let's face it, isn't easy at all. And you, fan, have you stopped to imagine the Commanders in the playoffs? Jaden Daniels leading the team, Dan Quinn strategizing every play. It seems like a dream, but it's becoming more real. Am I saying we can repeat that story? Maybe not exactly, but what's stopping this team from surprising us even more? We can't talk about Jaden Daniels without mentioning the protection he needs to perform his best football. The Washington Commanders' offensive line has been a pillar of stability this season, but the matchup against the Cowboys will be a real test. And speaking of dreams, just wait until you hear the last bold prediction of the video. Get ready, because this one will give you chills. My prediction is bold, but not impossible. The Commanders won't just beat the Cowboys, but they'll use this moment to build momentum towards something bigger. Remember the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles? Nobody believed in them, and they took the title. Despite Dallas's defensive problems, their defensive line still has players capable of pressuring the quarterback and destabilizing the game. The good news? Our OL has shown improvement. With a scheme adjusted by Dan Quinn, the Commanders have been using formations that maximize Daniels' time in the pocket, giving him space to work and make reads. My prediction here is simple. The offensive line will hold the pressure exemplarily, allowing less than 2 sacks in the entire game. This will be crucial for offensive success, especially in decisive moments. Another point worth highlighting is the roster depth. While the Cowboys have suffered from injuries in key positions, the Commanders have shown resilience, with backups who come in and deliver solid performances. A clear example is the receiving corps, which has given incredible support to Daniels. Beating the Cowboys is never just about the standings. It's a clash of pride, history, and rivalry. For the Commanders, winning in Week 12 could be the definitive turning point in 2024, consolidating the team as a real force in the NFC and silencing any remaining doubts about their capability. A win here isn't just a W in the standings. It's a clear sign that the Washington Commanders are back in the NFL's competitive scene. And as a fan, I can't help but wonder, could this be the beginning of something even bigger? If there's one thing that defines the Commanders' offense, it's the running game. It's almost as if every snap was planned to punish the opposing defense with constant and effective runs. And let's agree, folks. When the running game works, everything in the offense flows better. The play-action pass becomes more lethal, defenses tire out, and the clock becomes our best friend. My bet for Sunday? The run game will be a show of its own. With Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler carrying the ball, I think the Commanders can surpass 175 combined rushing yards. And hold on, because Jaden Daniels will also contribute with smart scrambles, showing why he's an important piece in diversifying this offense. Imagine the Cowboys' defense trying to contain all of this. It'll be beautiful to watch. If you've followed football for a while, you know that maintaining possession is one of the best ways to beat more talented teams. Against the Cowboys, the Commanders' game plan should be clear. We control the clock, we control the game. And this starts with long drives based on solid and consistent runs. This strategy not only keeps their offense off the field, but also wears down the opposing defense. Remember that game against the Eagles last year? That's how we surprised everyone. Now, repeat after me. Running is power, and Sunday will prove it again. Now, let's talk defense. We know the Commanders unit isn't the most feared in the NFL, but one thing's for sure. They know how to step up in important moments. And, against a quarterback like Cooper Rush, who's far from being a difference maker, I think we can expect a show from our defensive line. Folks, Rush's track record speaks for itself. He's, at best, a backup QB, and even in his best season, he didn't show anything out of the ordinary. In 2022, he had just 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And this season, less than 600 yards in 5 games. That's scary for the Cowboys, of course. My prediction is clear. Cooper Rush will turn the ball over at least twice on Sunday. And look, our defense doesn't need much to turn that into points. It's turnover, quick counterattack, and a lead will build early in the game. And speaking of defense, I need to highlight our defensive line, which is one of the best in the league at putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Montez Sweat, Payne, and Jonathan Allen form a trio that can mess up any offensive plan. With Rush in the pocket, I wouldn't be surprised if we see important fumbles or sacks in decisive moments. And there's more. When the defense pressures, it opens space for the secondary to shine. I think we might see a crucial interception that will change the rhythm of the game. So folks, prepare your hearts. The Commanders don't need a spectacular offense to win this game. They need to be efficient and take advantage of every opportunity. And let's face it, who better to turn these opportunities into points? If there's something the Commanders can be proud of, it's having running backs who not only run well, but know how to physically punish defenses. Brian Robinson Jr. is the typical player who doesn't get intimidated, gaining those tough yards up the middle. Austin Eckler, with his receiving ability, can turn a simple screen pass into a big play. And we can't forget the role of the backups and Jaden Daniels himself. With designed runs and improvisations, he brings an extra dimension to our offense. Just imagine, tired defenses trying to keep up with Daniels on unexpected scrambles. It's the kind of detail that can break a game and put Washington in the advantage. It's hard to talk about the Cowboys without remembering their historical weight. But here's the truth. They're not invincible. Their defense, despite being praised, struggles against well-balanced attacks. And that's where the Commanders come in. If we can exploit the right side of their defensive line, we have everything it takes to open important holes and secure the necessary yards. Plus, our receiving core can take advantage of moments when safeties get too close to the line of scrimmage, leaving spaces deep in the field.